Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary of Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of media videos for the 2022 season, and we're going to be focused on game action from Week 6. Now, it's hard to believe this upcoming weekend we're hitting the halfway point in our season. The season is really flying by. But I wanted to take a couple moments and report out on our fouls per game for this season. Now, we've had 436 games, and we're averaging 14.8 fouls per game, and that's very close to last year, slightly up. But our most penalized foul is false start. We're averaging 2.79 false starts per game. That's up over last year, and if a team wants to lower their foul count, that'd be a great place to start. Now, the second most penalized foul is offensive holding. We're averaging 2.43 fouls per game there. That's right on target with last year. And we've had questions, is defensive pass interference up this year? And we're averaging 1.45 defensive pass interference fouls per game, and that's up 0.1 per game over last year. So very comparable to where we have been. Now, as far as targeting, in FBS, we've had 89 targeting fouls enforced. That's 1 in every 5 games. And in FCS, we're averaging 1 targeting foul enforced in every 7.7 games, and that's improved. And finally, we're averaging 55.5 points per game, and so that's slightly up over last year. And our game time, 3 hours and 20 minutes, is slightly up over last year. And FCS is averaging 3 hours and 8 minutes. So I know that's a lot of data, but let's get on into some plays.
Our first play this week, we have a surprise onside kick, and we know that once the ball has gone 10 yards, the kicking team is eligible to catch or recover the kick. Now, in this situation, the kicker pops the ball up into the air, and the kicking team player catches the kick after it's gone the required 10 yards. Now, by rule, if a receiving team player is in position to catch the kick and is attempting to do so, they must be given an unimpeded opportunity to make the catch. Now, number 22 for the receiving team is in position to make this catch, and it doesn't matter if he is given a fair catch signal or not. Number 22 was not given the unimpeded opportunity to make this catch. So number 3 of the kicking team has committed a foul for kick catching interference. And that's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Now, it's important to note that this applies to a kick that is kicked up directly from the tee, or if the kicker drives the ball immediately into the ground and the ball strikes the ground once and goes into the air in the manner of a ball kicked directly off the tee. In that situation, the kick catching rule is in effect. Now, if there's no receiver in position to make this catch, then there's no problem for the kicking team player to catch the ball. Play 2 is a 2-play vignette. And in our first play, we're going to see the runner's going to drive for the goal line. And before his progress is stopped, we see his teammates coming in behind the runner and push and drive the pile and the ball carrier forward across the goal line. And this action is legal. You're allowed to push the runner. But as we transition to our second play in the vignette, by rule, a teammate may not grasp, pull, or lift the ball carrier to assist in forward progress. And as we see here, number 22 for the offense, he breaks to about the 8-yard line, and then his teammate, the center, number 55, is going to wrap the runner up and pull him forward and actually lifts him and carries him down to about the 3-yard line. Now, this is a foul for helping the runner, and it's a 5-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul where number 55 began to pull the runner forward. Play 3, we get a pass straight down the hash, and it's going to be intercepted by number 53 at about the 8-yard line, and he returns it back out to the 15. Now, as we go back and take a look, we want to focus in on the intended receiver, number 87. He's hit by number 4 of the defense, and it is a targeting foul. Now, replay has to look at this and confirm all aspects of the targeting for it to be enforced. And so the intended receiver, no question, he's still defenseless. And then there's an indicator of targeting by number 4 as he has an upward thrust and he leads with his head. And then there's clearly forcible contact to the head or neck area of this defenseless receiver. So the targeting can be confirmed. But now the timing of this foul is critically important on this play. We see the interception and the change of possession is clearly before the targeting foul. So the defense is going to be able to keep the ball since the foul occurred after the change of possession. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the 5-yard line, and number 4 will be disqualified. Play 4, we're in the fourth quarter. The receivers have 10 players up to be ready for a potential onside kick. But the kicking team is going to kick the ball deep. Now, receiver number 6, he muffs the kick at the 10-yard line. The ball rolls back into the end zone. Number 6 goes back in the end zone, gathers the ball up, tries to return it, but doesn't get too far. And on top of that, his teammate is flagged for a block in the back at the 10. So this further complicates the return. Now, let's talk about the options number 6 has when he recovers the kick back in the end zone. Now, since 6 muffed it in the field of play, he did need to get back on it and recover the ball because it's live. But because the ball is in the end zone and the kick was the impetus that put the ball back in the end zone, even though it was deflected by the muff, this is a kick in the end zone. And if the player had just taken a knee in the end zone, it would have been a touchback, and his team would have put the ball in play at the 25-yard line. Play 5, we're going to take a look at a couple things on this play. First, the play design. We see that at snap, the 2 receivers at the bottom of the formation, they go downfield and block. And even if these blocks are before the pass is caught, these blocks are legal since the pass is caught behind the neutral zone. And now, after the catch, we're going to see number 86. He drives for the goal line and dives right at the pylon, and the ruling on the field is touchdown. Now, this is a very tight play, and replay is going to stop the game to review it. And as we go back and take a look at the end zone view behind the offense, we see number 86's feet. They're inbounds, and he leaps from inbounds, and it looks like the ball may be outside the pylon, but we need a better view. From the next replay, we see that number 86, his left hip hits the pylon, and really our third replay is what we needed. We see that the left hip hits before the hand is down, and we know that if the ball carrier touches the ground in the end zone or touches the pylon, as he does in this case, the runner gets goal line extended. Now, when 86's left hip touches his pylon, the play is dead, but we can see the ball breaking the plane of goal line extended at this moment. So this is indeed a touchdown. Nice call on the field. Good job by replay. Our last play this week, we get a long pass to the back of the end zone, and the receiver catches the ball, and the ruling on the field is touchdown. Now, this is another tight play, and replay is going to stop the game to review the catch. Now, the receiver clearly gains firm control of the ball and maintains this control as he goes to the ground, so that's all good. The question is, did the receiver get a body part down inbounds? As we go back and take a look at the replays, the right knee lands very close to the end line, and every view we have is just very close. As replay cycles through all the available replays, they're looking for any clear and obvious evidence that the knee is in or out of bounds. And after looking at all available replays, this is a perfect example of stands in replay. There's no indisputable evidence either way. You may have a feeling or an opinion, but without a view that is clear and obvious, replay correctly let this play stand as called on the field. Well, that's it for our video this week, and this was a set of plays that's indicative of just how competitive and narrow the margins are in our game. We appreciate your time invested in this video. We thank you for your continued feedback. Best of luck to all this week, and stay safe and healthy.